A historic government building on a prime piece of downtown Toronto real estate is up for grabs. The Dominion Public Building at 1 Front Street West was recently unloaded by the federal government to have done with what the property could one day become.
Well, there's no for sale sign out front of Dominion Public Building, but it is on the real estate market. It was unloaded by the federal government on January 3rd. It's still a functioning tax center, but the offices of the roughly 1,500 workers here will be relocated within the GTA over the next several years. The building's now in the hands of Canada Lands Company. That's the Crown Corporation that manages the sale and redevelopment of federal government properties. They want it sold by the spring. There's no asking price, in case you were wondering, but it's 5 stories, more than 33,000 square meters, and it sits on a 2-acre lot right at the corner of Yonge Street and Front Street. It almost certainly will fetch hundreds of millions of dollars.
It's almost 2 acres of extremely prime real estate in one of the most valuable cities. So, it's a $200 million plus. It would go from there up. For Canadian government to maximize the price of the property, it would not be selling it based on its current use. It's going to be sold on air rights. So I think the potential here is anywhere from 2 to 6 very high buildings. By very high, I mean in excess of 50 stories, possibly as high as 100 stories.
Well, whoever acquires the building is going to be dealing with some pretty strict heritage protection if they want to redevelop the site. That's because of the building's architecture and history. It was completed in 1935 by architect T.W. Fuller, and it's considered one of Canada's most important examples of Beaux-Arts architecture. Along with the construction of Union Station, it represented Toronto's prominence. One historian tells me it's the federal government's most important building in Toronto. So it's pretty much untouchable as a heritage property, and the City of Toronto is even seeking to protect the interior of the building as well. But developers say there's a lot of potential here to build up. Trevor Dunn, CBC News, Toronto.